everyone. So before I talk about today's video, I just want to say welcome to the fall background. So it's officially September, it's kind of the middle of September, so I thought now is the perfect time to break out one of my favorite backgrounds. This is my fall background. I love doing seasonal backgrounds. I have my leaves lanyard, I have some pumpkins, I have a couple of signs. Yeah, this will be up for probably September, a little bit of October because I have to put Halloween stuff up near Halloween, and definitely for November. So yay, I hope you guys enjoy my seasonal backgrounds as much as I do. I could be the only one that enjoys them. I don't know, you let me know. Today I'm here to share with you my book of the month picks. So if you didn't know, I'm a book of the month ambassador. If you haven't heard of book of the month, they're literally like the oldest book of the month clubs there ever has been, I believe. It is a subscription service where you can choose one or more books every single month, and I believe the first book, if you only get one book, it's only 10 bucks a month, which is amazing because they're all hardcover. And then if you want to add an additional book on, it's also an extra $10, which is an amazing price in my opinion. Hardbacks are not cheap, my friend. Like, it breaks my heart when I have to pay for a hardback because they're so expensive. And with book of the month, the first of every single month, they will let you know their 5 selections they put out that month, and if I just choose those books, and you get to see what books they're at, and you get to pick. So it's not like a surprise, it's pretty much you pick your book and there you have it. I picked out 3 for September. If I'm honest, I was really interested in all 5 of them, but I was like, no, you need to limit yourself. And all of these I am very, very excited for, and I've already read one of them, so doing pretty good. So here are my 3 book of the month selections for September. The first one, the one that I've already read and that I was most excited for, is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I read her first book a few years ago called Everything I Never Told You and fell in love with it. So I could not wait for this one to come out, and I've already read this, like I said, and I really enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Everything I Never Told You, but it was really good. Celeste Ng's writing is beautiful, and she really writes about a lot of important things. This book in particular has a myriad of things going on, but the basis of it is it takes place in 80s or 90s. I'm not too, I forget, but either way, this takes place in Shaker's Heights, Cleveland, Ohio, and Shaker Heights is kind of a rules neighborhood, I guess. Like, you have to have your grass in a certain way, you have to have your like color of your door a certain way. Everything's very like cookie cutter in Shaker Heights. It's you know, it's kind of people that are richer, people that really abide by the rules, that go by the status quo. And we follow the Richardsons. The Richardsons are kind of the heart of this novel. And also we have the Warrens. So the Richardsons, we have a husband and wife, and they have 4 kids, I believe. They have 2 boys and 2 girls, and they are the quintessential like status couple within Shaker Heights. They follow the rules. They, you know, their kids expect to follow the rules, all that kind of stuff. Enter the Warrens. So Mia Warren, who is a single mother, moves into Shaker Heights with her daughter Pearl, and actually they're renting out a house from the Richardsons. So quickly, these families' lives gets entangled, and it's all about that. Within this whole storyline, we have a myriad of so many different things that are going on. We have things that talk about adoption, we have talk about racism, we have talk about the status quo, we have talks about like family relationships. Celeste Ng really knows how to weave a whole bunch of different topics into one amazing book, and I really enjoyed this book. The one qualm I had with it was that she switched kind of point of views, but they weren't necessarily point of views like very, very quickly. Like, usually with point of views, you get a chapter of somebody and then a chapter of somebody else. With her, she'll interweave within different paragraphs, so it got kind of hard to keep up. And this book definitely made me think. There are so many different things in this book that I was so on the fence about. Like, there was this one really, really hot topic in this book about adoption and how this couple adopted this Chinese American baby. And the girl's mom actually wants to have her back, so it quickly becomes a battle of who are the best parents. Is it really the biological parents who are her biological parents and she'll learn the culture from them? Or is it parents that are gonna, you know, provide for her and she'll have everything she needs financially and also give her love? And you're quickly torn of what is right, what is wrong, what side are you on? A lot of times in this book, I was so all over the place. I was like, I don't know what to think. Celeste Ng makes you think and makes you ponder, and I would definitely recommend this book. It's a beautifully written book about families and about the relationship within families and how to, you know, navigate them, and how sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not great. Overall, like I said, an amazing book. I definitely would recommend. The next book I picked out, I didn't even know was coming out. I was pleasantly surprised by it, and that is Sourdough by Robin Sloan. If you haven't heard of Robin Sloan, he also wrote Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, which I have yet to read. Yeah, I think I've tried multiple times. I just couldn't get into it, so why not give another book a shot? but Robin Sloan has kind of a quirky way of writing, I've heard. You can see the cover. Sorry if you can't. This is all about a woman named Lewis who is a software programmer at this robotics company in San Francisco. She pretty much codes all day, then collapses at night, and she orders dinner from her brother's restaurant every single night. And then visa issues happen, and her brothers quickly have to shut down the restaurant and kind of flee. So basically they leave Lois one thing, they leave their culture, their sourdough starter from afar, used to bake her bread. So pretty much Lois gets this bread and she starts baking it every single day. She brings it to her work, then she starts bringing it to this farmer's market, and pretty much it's coming a lot bigger than she ever thought it would. People want her to sell it. Then she's kind of running into problems after she starts selling it. So it's all about that. Book of the month also leaves little bookmarks with the judges, and it says, sourdough is best enjoyed with a cup of tea and thick toasted bread. You will get hungry. Enjoy. So this sounds amazing to me. Number one, I love bread. Not as much as my husband. My husband, he can eat bread for every single meal and he'd be happy. Like, he needs bread. And I'm like, that's a lot of carbs. Like, he's obsessed with bread. So mainly I got this for him. No, I don't know. But I've always wanted to read a Robin Sloan book, and it seems very short and it sounds kind of quirky and funny. It's about bread and robotics company and like in the tech world in San Francisco. So I'm very excited to read it. And the last book of the Book of the Month's picks I picked out is Lies She Told by Kate Houlihan. I am saving this book for October because it's definitely a fall and kind of spooky read. This is all about a writer, and her name's Liza, and she's a once successful novelist whose career has seen better days. So pretty much she has warmed up to write a thriller that could land her back on the bestseller list. And meanwhile, within all that, she's definitely struggling within her family. She's trying to start a family of her own. Her husband seems to be really discombobulated, not really there because his best friend disappeared a few days ago, so that's going on. Stress starts weighing her down. Her professional world as well as her like novel world starts to get blurry, if you know what I mean. Like, her story and her real life, the line between them is not so like thick. It's getting a little blurry, a little hazy. Also in this book, we follow her actual book going on. So in the book that she's actually writing, we also follow her main character, Beth. And Beth has just had a new baby, so she's definitely struggling on becoming a new mom. And she suspects that her husband is cheating on her. So she's angry, she's betrayed, she's got a lot going on. I mean, good Lord, a lot happens to your body after you have a baby. Not even just your body, your whole emotional hormones. But because she's angry, she's betrayed, she decides she wants to catch him in the act. Before she realizes what she is doing is tossing the body of her husband's mistress in the East River. Then, like I said, the line between Eliza, the writer's life, and her book that she's currently writing gets more blurry. Her husband's best friend's body gets pulled out of the East River. You see what I'm saying here? It's getting really blurry. And Liza's husband is arrested for his death. So things are just crazy. So basically this is like it says on the bookmark, like I said, it says, Lies She Told takes you inside the mind of a has-been writer whose slow mental unraveling plays out in the pages of her latest novel. Can you determine what is fact and what is fiction? So I think this whole book, you're thinking, is this Liza's life? Or is this her book that's going on? Are they both the same? I don't know. It sounds really, really interesting. I will say the Goodreads reviews are kind of all over the place, but it sounds really intriguing to me, and it sounds like a perfect October read, so I will definitely be reading this very, very soon, and I will let you know my thoughts on it because it just sounds so cool. Like, you're reading about a writer who's writing her book, and you get to see snippets of her book, and you have to determine, is this her book, or is this her life, or is it, I don't know. It just sounds amazing. Either way, those are my 3 Book of the Month picks for September. I'm equally excited about all of them, and I plan to read all of them very, very soon. Some of the Book of the Month past ones I haven't quite read yet, but this month I'm really genuinely excited for all of the book selections I picked out. So if you're the Book of the Month member, let me know what books you picked out this month. Were they the same? Were they different? Have you read any of these books I talked about? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.